Hello, family. We thank God for today. We bless Him for His goodness, for His mercy towards us. Today, I'm going to make reference to a few scriptures. The first one is Genesis chapter 1, verse 31. It says, God saw everything that He had made, and behold, it was very good, and He validated it completely. And there was evening, and there was morning, a sixth day. And then I will also read from Genesis chapter 2, from verse 1 to verse 3. It says, So the heavens and the earth were completed, and all their hosts, inhabitants. And by the seventh day God completed his work which he had done, and he rested, ceased on the seventh day from all his work which he had done. So God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it as his own, that is, set it apart as holy from other days, because in it he rested from all his work which he had created and done. Today, the Lord wants me to share with you that faith requires work. In the past few days, we've been talking about how through the creation story, we realize that God had demonstrated to us what faith entails and what we need to apply or be mindful of as far as walking by faith is concerned. I did share about how God is a God who is full of faith himself. He acted by faith, but his faith is not based on anything outside of himself. And so, by faith, as he had worked, he, on the seventh day, rested from the work that he had been doing over the 6-day period. And I just want to read to you James chapter 2, from verse 14 to verse 26. That really makes a point as far as faith and works is concerned. It says, What is the benefit, my fellow believers, if someone claims to have faith but has no good works as evidence? Can that kind of faith save him? No, a mere claim of faith is not sufficient. Genuine faith produces good works. If a brother or sister is without adequate clothing and lacks enough food for each day, and one of you says to him, Go in peace with my blessing, keep warm and feed yourselves, but he does not give them the necessities for the body, what good does that do? So too faith, if it does not have works to back it up, is by itself dead, inoperative and ineffective. But someone may say, You claim to have faith and I have good works. Show me your alleged faith without the works, if you can, and I will show you my faith by my works, that is, by what I do. You believe that God is one. You do well to believe that. The demons also believe that and shudder and bristle in awe-filled terror. They have seen his wrath. But are you willing to recognize, you foolish, spiritually shallow person, that faith without good works is useless? Was our father Abraham not shown to be justified by works of obedience which expressed his faith, when he offered Isaac, his son, on the altar as a sacrifice to God? You see that his faith was working together with his works, and as a result of the works, his faith was completed, reaching its maturity when he expressed his faith through obedience. And the scripture was fulfilled, which says, Abraham believed God, and this faith was credited to him by God as righteousness and as conformity to his will. And he was called the friend of God. You see that a man believer is justified by works and not by faith alone. That is, by acts of obedience, a born-again believer reveals his faith. In the same way, was Rahab the prostitute not justified by works too, when she received the Hebrew spies as guests and protected them and sent them away to escape by a different route? For just as the human body without the Spirit is dead, so faith without works of obedience is also dead. This scripture explains beautifully why it is that as a people of faith, our actions and everything that we do must demonstrate faith. So I think of the likes of David, who brought down the giant Goliath, that everybody in the army, including Saul, at the time when Goliath was just harassing them and threatening them, were afraid. David, because he had faith, did not sit back like everybody else had done in fear, but he was bold enough to go before Goliath and to fight Goliath, and his faith made him act. I think of Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. The Bible makes us understand that they were a people of faith. Because they had faith in God, they prayed. Because they had faith in God, they fasted. They did not sit back doing nothing, thinking, oh, we have faith in God, and so whatever it is we're believing God to do, to set us apart, to protect us, to cause us to be preferred by the King, that it will automatically happen. And so what the scripture demonstrates to us is that just as God had a mental picture of what it was that he wanted creation to look like, he went to work. Equally, as a people of God, if we say we have faith, our actions should demonstrate that we have faith. Often I use the example when I think about somebody who may be jobless, is trusting God for a job, and the person knows without a shadow of a doubt that God has the power that it takes to cause them to get that job that they need. But imagine for a moment if that person wakes up every day. They never go about looking to see what other vacancies may be there that they qualify for and could apply for. If they never fill in an application form, and all they do is every morning they wake up and they pray in their room 24/7. They're praying, but they never go out to even look for vacancies that they could apply for. They never send out an application form, and they stay in the room saying, I have faith that God will give me a job. Let's be practical. Everybody would think that that person is crazy. Reason being that we know that if you need a job, at least you need to be out there looking. You should find out what job vacancies are there. While you're praying, you're supposed to have a corresponding action, work, that demonstrates your faith. So the person who has faith and trusts and knows that God will give them that job will be praying, will be studying, reading scriptures that would build their faith and encourage them, but at the same time will do the corresponding action of going out there to look for a job, to send an application, even if they feel that perhaps the qualifications that the job requires is not something they fully have. That faith will still let that person put in that application. And so today, as the Lord is saying to you and I, he's saying that if we say we have faith, there should be a corresponding action that we take to demonstrate that we are a people of faith. And as I shared, the Lord himself demonstrated it beautifully, because when you think about it, the Bible makes us understand God does not sleep nor slumber. He does not get tired. So why is it that God had to tell us that on the seventh day he rested from all his works? I've come to realize that I believe that the whole essence of why God told us that he rested from his works was to let us know, or to let us learn from him, that if we are a people who have faith, we will be a people who go out and demonstrate by our actions that we are a people of faith. Think about what I shared yesterday, that when John and Peter saw the lame man at the gates, they stopped by speaking to that man and commanding him to rise up and to start walking. they had put their faith into action. They had backed their faith with works. And so, brothers and sisters, the Lord is saying to us, and we can read so many stories of men and women that God used mightily throughout Scripture, that everyone who had faith in God demonstrated their faith, not just by what they said, but by the actions that they took. So I want to encourage you that whatever it is that you're trusting God for, if you've not done the works, the corresponding works that demonstrates that you have faith in God, I would encourage you to start doing so. And maybe you want to, but you perhaps do not know exactly what will be the appropriate step to take to demonstrate or to put into practice the fact that your corresponding or adding to your faith works is to go to the Lord in prayer, and He will show you whatever it is He wants you to do, so that by your faith and your works, what it is that you're trusting God will come to pass. So today we're going to go over, and I'm going to repeat our memory verse which we're learning for this week, which is in Luke chapter 17, verse 6. It says, "And the Lord said, if you have confident, abiding faith in God, even as small as a mustard seed, you could say to this mulberry tree, which has very strong roots, be pulled up by the roots and be planted in the sea. And if the request was in agreement with the will of God, it would have obeyed you." Luke 17, verse 6. I will repeat it. "And the Lord said, if you have confident, abiding faith in God, even as small as a mustard seed, you could say to this mulberry tree, which has very strong roots, be pulled up by the roots and be planted in the sea. And if the request was in agreement with the will of God, it would have obeyed you." Amen. The Lord bless you. The Lord keep you. The Lord cause you to begin to walk in faith like you've never done before, and cause you to have some great and awesome testimonies, and also cause you to be used mightily of God this year than you've ever experienced in your life. I look forward to sharing with you tomorrow. Be blessed.